Good. Welcome to the presentation of the WD-90 IQ. I I splitted the presentation up into two different presentations. The first of all is a refresh and an update what's all about the WD-90 IQ, what is the selling proposition and what are the unique features of the WD-90 IQ. And the second part will be about what we have changed in the meantime since we've launched the machine this summer. Good. The value proposition of the WD-90 IQ are those three bullet points. First of all, we invested a lot of time to make the machine as intelligent as possible. That means, in a way, that the whole controller and the whole user interface has been adapted with the goal to make it as easy as simple to use, with the goal that we can store a lot of data on the machine that helps to improve the CSSD or the SPD performance, and also to have a whole transparency in regards of data access for the customer. Second one, we also invested a lot in improving the efficiency of the WD-90 IQ. We added the new technology SmartFill, more about that afterwards, and we also added an optional storage tank which allows us to reduce dramatically or significantly the water consumption of the machine up to 55%. And what we also did is that we invested a lot in making the machine as flexible as possible. The main goal is that we do not teach customer. The machine is supposed to be a tool which allows our customer to have the smoothest and most probably best workaround and work procedures within their CSSD with WD-90 IQ. Obviously, the controller and the user interface and the touchscreens are new. It's not just that we added a big touchscreen. What we also did is that we changed the whole logic of how we're gonna use the machine itself. So during the wash cycle, it's a decision of the customer what kind of data he would like to see during the presentation. The customer itself decides what kind of information he would like to see or really important for him during the wash cycle itself. He can easily just swipe away if you would like to see a process graph in regards of how is the temperature in the wash chamber and how is the A_0 value rising, what's the remaining time and the process status itself, what kind of machine number is the machine all about, and how the wash cycle looks like, and how is the printer protocol. All of those information are displayed. He can just swipe them away. What we also did that we have the same sized and absolutely independent touchscreens on both sides. The beauty of that solution is that it doesn't matter on which side of the machine you are standing. It's all about, and you have never ever an interruption when you have interaction with the machine on the loading side, on the unloading side. Those two screens are absolutely independent, and it doesn't matter if a wash cycle is running or not. So we have always, from both sides, access to historical data, to events and alarms. You can interact with the machine and change some settings. You can even compile new wash cycles if you want to, by not having the risk to interrupt something or to abort a wash cycle. Here more in detail, what I just explained you with a few examples what's all about, why it's so an intelligent solution. First of all, you can always look at the ongoing wash cycle, what's the cycle protocol of that one, and at the same time you can go into the machine where we store up to 1,000 wash cycles in the machine itself and see the cycle history or the batch history. And even on the machine you can filter them, you can export them on USB, and you can distribute that to, if you have long connections, to anywhere else. You also have access to the process graphic always when a wash cycle is running. You have always access with this info button to the machine information in regards of when has the machine been installed, how many cycles has the machine already performed, when is recommended the next service call, and so on. All those informations are accessible on the first level. And a really new feature in the controller is that we also have an event and alarm list. So each warning, information, or failure that occurs during the use of the machine will be stored and automatically analyzed in a way that you can see how many times and in percentage we have had issues with the power supply. And that helps to improve the CSSD performance a lot, because knowing on a weekly base, monthly base, why we have aborts, why we have issues with sorry, I've seen that I received a question. I'm going to keep that. I will answer that after the presentation. Coming back, the event and alarm list also allows to be exported, and we can implement it into a text file, Excel file, or make some analysis in regards of what happens during the next couple of months and years. Here, more in detail, those two benefits. I already talked about the increased productivity in regards of having the opportunity to have a detailed overview of each alarm, failure, and information that the machine has provided during the lifetime. Also, a new feature is that you have the opportunity to release a batch on the machine by recognizing who is in front of the machine via password or by scanning an RFID chip or barcode to be recognized which user or which employee is in front of the machine and would like to release something. And those information will be linked and stored with the batch or the cycle itself. I mentioned it that we have an internal storage in the machine. The storage is big enough to store at least 1,000 cycles. We made tests of really simple cycles where we already have stored more than 1,300 cycles. We just say officially that even with complex cycle, at least 1,000 wash cycles will be stored. The stored wash cycles and the stored event alarm list can always be printed out on the machine itself or be stored on a USB stick that it's available always, whenever you want, where you want. Those information can also be distributed to an instrument tracking system or to anywhere else. And those information are also available via the Bellimet dashboard where the status of each machine is visible in the CSSD always. The new feature, Smart Fill, is built up on the already hopefully quite well-known dynamic filling principle, where the machine automatically is adapting the water consumption on the load itself. By now adding a frequency-controlled wash pump, we can even lower the water consumption per wash cycle step. The beauty of that is that sometimes for the pre-wash or for a specific wash cycle step, you need high volume, high pressure. That's mostly in the pre-wash phase or the pre-rinse. Where you don't need it, most probably in thermal disinfection, you can really lower the water consumption dramatically. And those two features together lead to Smart Fill, where we can save up to 30% of water consumption. And when you save water, you always save detergents, energy, and also time. Here, a little bit more in detail explained feature-wise and technical-wise how those two features work in the machine itself. The dynamic filling procedure is made like that we fill up the sump. The technical thing that we call sump is the area beyond the screens. We fill that up. Then we have a static volume. The static volume is defined by a default value. Then we start up the wash pump. When we start up the wash pump, the whole system will be filled with water, and the amount that the water level is declining will be refilled with the water inlet. And with that technology, we're gonna find out how much water is in the system, and we do not have the issue that we always need to fill up on the critical and, let's say, the worst case scenario that the machine is fully loaded. Good, that's the dynamic filling. The frequency control wash pump makes it much more easier to adapt the wash cycle on the specific need during each step. When I say the frequency has an influence on the water consumption, I mean that higher frequency of a wash pump means more throughput of water. More throughput of water means that you need more statistic water level in front of the wash pump to ensure that you never have air in the wash pump, because that's damaging the wash pump. If you are lowering the frequency, then the volume that is going through the wash pump will be also lower, and then you can lower the statistic water level that you fill in. That's quite complex. The beauty of that is, for the thermal disinfection, we can lower, just for this specific step, the water consumption up to 50% compared to the previous WD-290. Oops. Good. Also, a new option is the storage tank. The storage tank is also placed upwards upwards of the wash chamber, where next to the condenser and the DI tank. The storage tank is used to recycle the water from the thermal disinfection process. We save the water there. That's clean water of the thermal disinfection. And this water can be used for the next upcoming wash cycle, most preferably for the rinse. But the machine allows it to use it in each wash cycle step, except pre-rinse, because there you have a limitation of temperature. So that the machine is blocking that to ensure that you're not going to damage the whole wash cycle by using hot DI water for pre-rinse. The Smart Fill in combination with Bellimer Protect leads to a huge decrease of water consumption compared to the old 290. We made measurements where we have seen in our laboratory the old wash cycle, for an example 4-level rack for instruments, is the 290 use about 120 liters per wash cycle. Now we came down to 85 liters, most probably, and that's an amazing TCO value at the end for the customer. He can save a lot of money by using our machine, for sure, by using also Bellimer Protect in regards of having the best combination of the WD-90 IQ and Bellimer Protect. A rough calculation is here displayed, where you can see a few values. This is just an example from, let's say, from an European customer in regards of how much money he could save in a year when he used the WD-90 IQ with a storage tank compared to a 290. At the end, it's always depending for sure in how many shifts they are working and how many cycles they have per day. But here is a common, let's say, mid-sized hospital in Switzerland. They can save up to 29%, up to 4,000 euros in a year, where they have less consumptions compared to the 290. That's a huge benefit. Good. What we always need to recognize is that we do not just have washers. We offer a whole system. The WD-90 IQ fits perfectly in our chemistry solution. We have the same racks and automation that we used to have for the 290, so everything is retrofittable and can be used for both machines. The IQ can be always displayed via the dashboard, and what we also still have is an excellent service and a huge knowledge in consulting in our customers in regards of how a CSSD shall looks like and run like, and how can we have a high throughput and low consumptions in a CSSD. We still have these new racks for the WD-90 IQ in regards of the 6-level rack and the adaptable 5-level rack, what we have already launched 1 year ago. Those racks fit perfectly also in the WD-90 IQ, and for sure also the new mixed trays from 1 to 4 very easily can connect lumen bodies and other stuff. And all the other more than 150 racks that we have for the 290 and the 390 can be used here as well. All the systems, all the accessories are fully compliant with the WD-90 IQ. As I mentioned, also the already existing automation solutions that we have can be used. So for an existing Bellimet customer that is using the WD-290 with cart trolleys with size or WD-290, he do not need to reinvest in those systems if he would like to replace a 290 with a 290 IQ. Those systems can be easily combined with the WD-90 IQ. Even a mixed installation is possible with 290s and 290 IQs. The performance at a glance, we still have a high throughput of 18 DIN trays per hour with our 6-level racks. The whole machine for sure is type tested according 15883, certified by Hixson. We still have the narrow space and the compact design, and we still have those values in regards of throughputs for different medical devices in our machine. The benefit for our customer is that we are absolutely sure that we will never compromise that, is that we have a perfect cleaning, disinfection and drying performance. We have improved the wash cycles, we have improved a lot the water consumption, but never ever with the risk of uncompromising the results of cleaning efficacy. Also what we did, and you have seen, is that we have much more transparent values available, and we have improved a lot the total cost of ownership for our customers. In regards of having transparency on consumption data, we can show our customer that we have improved a lot the values and the consumption, and they can save a lot of money by using our machine for a decade of years. The whole machine is all about intelligent and flexible procedures. So we do not teach the customer. The mindset all about is that we are supplying a tool that helps to following the local best practice recommendations. We have still an established quality. All those components for the WD-290, they have proven during the lifetime of the 290 that they are reliable, have been implemented again. The machine itself, before we launched it, has been made durability tests in our laboratories for more than 5,000 wash cycles. So the whole machine itself is really reliable and have a high quality. And as we said, the Bellimet promise, we are trying to transform the CSSD into the digital futures, and the machine is the first proof of it, and shall allow to really have data access and data security and a data backlog as well. So that was all about refreshing of the 290. As I mentioned at the beginning, we made a small update, and I would like to show you them on the next 3 to 4 slides what we did in the meantime. So what we did is that the shipment of the machine can now be shipped separate with tanks and condenser. We added a specific article sales number which can be ordered to lower the shipment cost itself, because when the packaging gets smaller you receive 2 small packages, and also the installation will be easier without having the tanks and the condenser up the machine installed. The whole machine high is lower than a common door high in a hospital. So you can easily access the CSSD by not having the issue of unpacking the machine in the outside of the CSSD, disassemble a specific part like the condenser and the tanks. You can just easily go into the CSSD, add those options, and then start with the commissioning of the machine and installation. We also have developed a seismic entering kit for specific regions where we have issues with earthquakes, and we also adapted the already existing machine connection set from the 290 that also fits for the 290 IQ. The second option, the machine connection set, will be used when you have side-by-side installation, no spacer of 50 or 100 millimeters, to leveling the machine to each other, that it looks nicely and that the manual loading works properly when they use trolleys from multiple machines. What we also did is we have made the casing structure much more simpler than we used to have 3 or 4 months ago. Maybe you have seen that we had additional casings and panels with a bump up of 50 millimeters for standalone machines on the left side. That made some issues in regards of replacing of old 290s, because when the machines are not standalone but installed side by side, having a bump up of 50 millimeters on the left side makes some issues if you would like to replace an old 290 which is installed directly on the wall. Nobody of us would like to have construction work when we need to get rid of 50 millimeters of a wall. That's why we decided to change design of the 290 itself, that the steam routing doesn't need to be on the side anymore. We have now a solution where the steam can go through the machine itself, and those bump up is not really needed anymore. Still, we are offering those intermediate panels, where you can see here of 50 and 100 millimeters, because it's more convenient to have a distance there of 50 or 100 millimeter, and it's even necessary if you have a SISO or WA290 automation system. Then you need those spaces too. Good. That was all from my side. I will now stop the recording